joined by ULM head women's golf coach Rachel Pollock. Rachel Pollock is the ULM women's head golf coach and my fourth college coach interview. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm great, thank you. How about you?
Good. Thank you for taking the time to chat. I'm sure you're very busy, with classes beginning in, the upcoming season,
Yes,
starting soon, but I'm sure you're very excited as coach for the upcoming season.
yes, it's always kind of the best time of the year, getting the new girls on campus and the returners back for some more golf. So there's lots of excitement in the air and in college golf and all of college athletics right now.
Yeah, so golf, especially in college, is very unique. You play both seasons, fall and spring, so you don't have much time away from it, but you do get, these few months in the summer and the off
Mhm.
season. So how has your off season and summer been? Have you gotten to do much outside of coaching this summer?
Yeah, this summer is actually a really great time to kind of take a little breather from the season and the grind. But we my best friend got married this summer, so I got to be a part of that wedding, and it was over in Europe in Latvia. So got to do a little bit of traveling somewhere that I've never been before. One of my former players, she's on the Epson tour, so I was on the bag for her for 2 weeks at in Connecticut and then also Albany, New York. And then from there, I went home for a week. So I kind of went on a 3 week stint of being on the road on the bag and then getting home to see family, as well as a little bit of recruiting throughout the summer. So that's always a good one.
Mhm. So I've interviewed three coaches and you're my fourth one, as we were saying. But I'm always curious to know, what does an off season look like for you as a college coach? Do you go on vacation? Do you travel much? Do you play a lot of golf? How does an off season
Yeah,
look like for you?
I try to get away a little bit. I know that with having a full international team, I don't have any girls that stay here over the summer. So it's pretty quiet around our golf house in those summer months. So I try to get away a little bit, get home to see my family, kind of catch up on some of the major life events. When all your friends are in golf, typically the summer is when everything has to happen and get planned. So
And what is it like being a college golf head coach? And did you always know you wanted to be a college coach, or was that never part of your plan?
originally, no, it wasn't part of the plan. I went to ETSU. I absolutely loved my 4 years there. Wouldn't trade it for absolutely anything, but was a little bit burnt out after. I thought that I wanted to play professionally and hey, stop it. I've got my dog here with me because he chewed up a blanket at the house yesterday. So he's been at the vet all morning. So I got him over here throwing up something else. Hey, none of that. But I didn't always know that I wanted to get into coaching, but I was a little bit burnt out after college and wanted to still stay in golf. And I thought that coaching was a really great avenue to be able to do that. So kind of got my foot in the door at Arkansas State and it kind of took off from there.
Yes, you touched on you played collegiately at Eastern Tennessee State University, but
Yes.
you have a very unique story. You're from Ontario, Canada, is that correct? I was reading.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, how did you go from being, from Canada to going and playing collegiately at Eastern Tennessee State University?
Yes, so East Tennessee State,
Tennessee,
we
yeah.
um coach had a full international team as well and did a lot of recruiting just from kind of word of mouth and watching a lot of international tournaments virtually. I actually signed before she ever watched me play. So swing videos, all that good stuff. I went down to visit in March of my junior year and fell in love with the place and decided to commit. So it was a pretty quick process, but one that was really great.
Yeah, and you say it was a quick process. How did you end up attending East Tennessee State, being from Canada? And were there any other schools you were looking at? Or were you pretty set on East Tennessee State?
Yeah, I had kind of a top five that I had narrowed it down to. There was a handful of other schools in there. But I really loved the practice facilities that ETSU had to offer, as well as coach, the international feel of the team, kind of her style, her coaching style. So um it it's never an easy decision, but it was definitely the right fit.
What was it like to play college golf at East Tennessee State, and what was it like to represent the Buccaneers?
Oh, it was a huge honor. I mean, like I said earlier, I absolutely loved my 4 years and I wouldn't change it for anything. it's always an honor when you get to wear kind of the logo on your chest, whether it be from ETSU or Arkansas State or ULM. But we had such a really great team camaraderie, and to be able to go through those experiences with 8 other girls or 7 other girls is something that's really unique.
So you're a native of Canada, and Canada's always thought of as, being cold and definitely not a golf mecca in the world. So what was it like, playing junior, amateur, high school golf in Canada? And being from Canada, did you travel, within the country and, outside the country to the United States to play in tournaments, as a junior and amateur?
Yes. So being from Canada, obviously our golf season is pretty short, but I think that it
Mhm.
keeps the fire lit under us. You kind of have a passion to get out even when it's not as desirable of conditions. And we really learned to kind of cherish our time that we do have out on the golf course. So when I got to go down to ETSU and play year-round golf, I was just so excited. Um, Typically in the winter at home, we're in a dome. It's a great time. I look at it to do a lot of technical work, be able to kind of make some swing changes that maybe you wouldn't be able to make if you lived in the South, and kind of trying to play through those swing changes instead of just focusing strictly on the technical aspect of it. But we played all across Canada growing up. We had a really great group of girls. My coach growing up at home, Ann Carroll. I've actually got one of her current players right now on my roster. So it's everything's kind of come full circle to now where she's sending me players, whereas I grew up working with her and her helping me get recruited.
Mhm. So an interesting fact that I see on your bio is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I see that your team once got a program record 3.973 grade point average. How
Yes.
important are academics to you as a coach and to your players? And do you stress academics to your players?
Yes, absolutely. I can't remember. Was that at, I think it was at Arkansas State.
Mm.
We had, I mean, our girls at Arkansas State were geniuses, and they put such a heavy emphasis on both school and golf, which I think comes from the top from MJ Shaw. She's an amazing coach, also Canadian, but she really emphasizes the importance of being a student as well. And that's something that I really learned from her and carried into my team, to really emphasize that this degree is going to take you places that your golf might not. So being able to walk away after 4 years of college and have a degree in hand is so important.
You are bilingual in French and English. What language did you speak mostly growing up, and how comfortable are you speaking and understanding both languages?
Yes, so I both of my parents speak English, but they are from the capital city in Canada, Ottawa. So it's a bilingual city, and they wanted
Mhm.
me to have opportunities should I have stayed at home. The French obviously isn't as prominent in the South, maybe a little bit in Louisiana, but um I'm very comfortable speaking French. I'm probably not as good as I used to be, but fully bilingual. We just graduated a player, Charlotte, from France, so we can kind of chit chat a little bit in French, and any French or Belgium recruits, I think I got a little bit of an edge because I've got the language in my back pocket.
Prior to ULM, you've touched on it a little bit. You spent 4 seasons at, Sun Belt Conference rival Arkansas State. Were you only an assistant coach at Arkansas State, and how did that come about to you getting started coaching at Arkansas State?
Yes, so I was the graduate assistant for my first 2 years, and
Mhm.
then I transitioned into a full-time role. So MJ, it was kind of right place, right time to where I started. I had the opportunity to start with my boss, MJ. Um, I called her when I saw the job listing, and within kind of half an hour of being on the phone, she said, "Well, the position is yours if you want it." And I said yes. And I had to Google where Arkansas was because I really wasn't sure where I had just agreed to go live for the next 2 years to go get my master's degree. But it was such a valuable experience, and MJ's one of my best friends and mentors to this day. And I wouldn't be in the position that I am at ULM if it wasn't for her.
You said your time at Arkansas State was a valuable time. What did you learn from being a coach at Arkansas State?
Everything. I learned all of it from MJ. I mean, the relationships that she creates with her players, the importance of those are, the golf aspect of it, kind of how to run a program, both logistically and kind of emotionally, the roller coaster that you kind of ride with these kids and these players. Just as well as kind of the logistical stuff, like how to do all the travel paperwork and what to do with receipts and planes, rental cars, hotels. It really was. She let me kind of have a hand in a little bit of everything, which sometimes head coaches don't provide assistance with that opportunity. But as much as I wanted to learn, she was going to allow me to.
So after your time at Arkansas State, you've now been you're entering your third season as the ULM head women's golf coach. How did you end up at ULM after Arkansas State, and how has this transition to ULM been for you?
So I almost ended up at ULM in 2020, but COVID hit. And I wasn't, after my 2 years as the graduate assistant, I didn't necessarily feel ready to take over a program. So I stayed at Arkansas State for another two, got to garner up some more experience. And then the position at ULM became open again. And our director of golf, Tim Baldwin, gave me a call and said that they would love to have me down on the bayou and bring a little piece of Canada to Monroe. So it was kind of, again, right place, right time that I ended up down here, and very thankful and fortunate for the opportunity.
And what does it mean to you to be the ULM head women's golf coach?
Oh, it means everything. I mean, I am so honored to be a part of this program, and especially this athletic department. I think that there's some really exciting things coming up with ULM, both just in the golf program, but as well as all of the athletic department. I think that we've got some new coaches in here, and everybody's really excited. Everyone's really hungry, and it's a really exciting time to be a part of ULM athletics.
Last season, you led the ULM women's golf program to its first ever appearance as a team in the NCAA Women's Golf Regional as an automatic qualifier. What did it mean for you as head coach to see your team qualify and compete in its first ever NCAA Regional as a team?
It was so special. I mean, just to have that experience with the girls, to be able to go to regionals, all of them for the first time together, and to be able to kind of have a front row seat to all of it was really special. Um, the winning the conference championship was obviously a highlight that kind of got us there after 2-hole playoff against Texas State. It was definitely a thriller, but it was really special, and the momentum I feel like is just going to carry through our program with years to come, and hopefully making that a regular occurrence and appearance.
Does ULM golf have a home course, or are there any courses, like a few courses that your team plays and practices at regularly?
Yes, so we have a handful of courses that the team has access to. So the closest being right in town, Bayou Desired Country Club. They're amazing to us. We host our home event out there. They're very welcoming, and it's very country club. I mean, narrow fairways, really fast greens. I think they're running about 12 this past weekend when we were qualifying. We also have Calvert Crossings, which is about 15 minutes away in West Monroe, and it is a very different style golf course. So it's huge fairways, very large undulating greens. You never have a flat lie on an approach shot. So we're really lucky to have two courses kind of within 15 minutes of campus that are very different from each other. We've got $1 million golf house right on campus, and we're putting in a $500,000 short game renovation right now. So that's in the works. So we are putting in a bunch of target greens, about 8 target greens, full 6,000 square foot putting green, and another 6,000 square foot chipping green with a bunker. So that's right on campus, which is something that's really special and unique to our program.
And you talked about you just recently hosted qualifying. So as head coach, how do you like to structure practices, workouts and qualifying for tournaments?
Yes, so obviously with the NCAA, we're limited to 20 hours a week. But we try to maximize those hours as much as possible. We're leaving actually a week from today for our first tournament. So we kind of hit the ground running as soon as we could. So 5 days before classes started. Got going with practice, which is typically 6 days a week. We work out twice a week, and then we try to qualify on top of all of that. So although it's busy, it's a good busy. I'm glad to have all the girls back.
Yeah, and you talked about in a week you're heading to your first tournament of the season. What tournaments do you look forward to as coach, or what are some, well run tournaments that ULM golf competes in each season?
Yes, so we typically kick off our season at South Alabama at the USA Intercollegiate. So excited to get back to that one. It's a regular on our calendar. Um, Following South Al, we are heading to Gonzaga's tournament. So that's a new one on the calendar for us. So we're going up to the Northwest. We're really excited to see some different teams that we don't normally see. Heading back to Arkansas State the following event, which is nice because it's kind of a second home for me. And then we kind of round out the fall at Mississippi State, which is a huge event on our calendar, and we're excited to see some of the best teams in the country.
ULM golf competes in the Sun Belt Conference. So, what teams are in the Sun Belt Conference?
So there's 13 teams in the Sun Belt, and we're kind of all over the place. So anywhere from up north, kind of the Marshalls, the Old Dominions, James Madison, all the way down to kind of us, Arkansas State, Texas State. There's South Al. There's 13 of us in the conference. So we just gained 4 new teams in Old Dominion, Marshall, James Madison, and Southern Miss. So that was a really strong addition into the conference. But we look forward to competing with them.
Mhm. So you're getting your season started in just a week. So I like to preview the upcoming season with all coaches I'm interviewing. So how does your team look going into this upcoming season?
I think we look really good. I mean, obviously we lost the Sun Belt Player of the Year last year. She graduated, so we were sad to see Chantal leave, but excited to bring in. We've got 4 new players on our roster, so 3 freshmen and then a transfer. So we not going to call it a rebuild, but we're going to reload. So we've got a lot of experience coming back, but also a lot of freshmen who have come and played really well in qualifying so far, which is really exciting.
And as head coach, are you excited to get this upcoming season started?
Yes, I didn't want the season to end last year. And I think that hopefully we're going to kind of take the momentum that we had from last year and transcend it into this season.
And the final question that I asked to all head coaches is, what do you enjoy most about being the ULM head women's golf coach, and what makes ULM such a special place?
I think that's a really good question, but I love all of it. And I know that that's probably not a great answer, but I just love being able to spend time with the girls every day. Alessia was just in my office this morning and we were chatting, and I can't believe she's graduating in a couple months. And Lenny, who's graduating in December, and just having the relationships with these girls and getting to watch them grow on the golf course, but also as people. And then be able to watch them graduate. I think that's the best part. And best part about ULM, definitely our team camaraderie. The campus is so beautiful, and I think that it's a really great place to spend your 4 years.